Strange New Worlds really started off like a decent show. The season one was pretty okay for the most part. I really didn't like their casting choice for Captain Kirk when they unveiled him in the final episode, but I just think he doesn't have the gravitas to play Kirk. Nothing wrong with him personally or anything like that. But overall, I enjoyed it. Now, season two really has been a letdown ever since this point, and there's been a couple reasons. They're trying to like do that gimmicky marketing thing, and this never works no matter what sort of series it is. They try to make things cutesy and quirky, and when you get those things going on, especially the quirky element, you know that the series is going off the rails. I really hope they right the ship and hope that, of course, they get things back to normal because this was like the only watchable Star Trek that they produced in a couple decades, and that makes me kind of sad in general. But of course, there's been a few episodes that are just like kind of slow. There was some weird stuff with Spock and what they've done to him, and of course they've pushed the Vulcans off the rails. This has been a destruction of the Vulcans for 30 years. I'm going to rant a little bit before getting to the real point about this musical episode. But originally, Vulcans were very stoic. They're logical. That's the whole point. And as the years have progressed, the producers have all decided that Vulcans actually are more emotional than humans, and they're suppressing these dangerous emotions, and they're so irrational. And that's what their logic is. Even when they're acting logical, it's always something irrational where they're doing something stupid, and the humans are like, well, if you just acted more human, you'd be able to like do this. That's not really how Spock was. Spock was an awesome badass because of his logic. It's been a bastardization to watch this incarnation of Spock, especially as he's sitting there laughing and trying to be more human so he can pursue his fanciful relationship with Nurse Chapel while he's in an engaged relationship to marry another person. It's ridiculous. So talk about illogical. So that's aside from the point, but the comedy aspects really are pushing the show to like farcical levels, and it's really sad. We watched the episode where there was the Lower Decks crossover, and of course it was just bumbling around and doing the same sort of like, oh, we love Starfleet, and they're of course all tripping over themselves doing stupid things rather than being awesome space explorers like used to be with Captain Kirk and all that. So it's really sad to watch, but that's what Lower Decks is. Bringing it into this series, and of course bringing in the animation just like threw you out of the suspension of disbelief, and that's what we have here in the musical episode to the nth degree. This is crazy at this point. Now, I've only seen this clip so far. I'll do a full review of this at some point when I can actually get the stomach to watch this, but this is what they've done to the Klingons. The Klingons now are in a spot where they are singing these pop songs and kind of gay dancing. Now, of course, the Enterprise people are looking at the screen like, what the heck am I looking at? But this is what they're doing to the Klingons. It's really sad. Of course, it's emasculation. It's pushing, of course, like a LGBTQ lifestyle because they love this kind of thing. And that's kind of the whole agenda behind something like this. It's really cringy to watch. And gosh, it's really sad that they've been doing this. So I hope they get right back on things. Like, I don't mind attempts at comedy and things like that. That's periodically. It's all right to do like the brief comedic episode. But if you go back to like Next Generation, they kind of did it right. Like Data was in the holodeck, and Data was getting into character with like doing his Western thing. That was kind of funny because of course it plays as a foil to the actual Data character, who's very logical. And doing that, like within the setting, works pretty well. But when you actually push things to this regard, where it's like, we're doing our musical episode, we're doing a crossover episode with the animated, it just throws you out of things and just breaks the immersion of the show. It just sucks. And this is a very cringy take of the Klingons. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.